and then add some cold brew coffee to it. I know that's not your jam, but it would be good for somebody who likes cold or iced coffee, right?
Absolutely.
Chef Rick Roman is back with SIFTR. Now, this is a very easy concept to grasp, but I don't see these anywhere in the marketplace except right here on QVC.
That's right.
And there's such a universal use because we're all buying canned goods packed in liquids.
That's right.
And now, what Chef is doing is he's adding some water now that he's dumped out that liquid. And now he's rinsing those beans because those beans in all likelihood are covered with sodium water.
That's right.
Now sodium is a preservative. It's going to keep that canned good, those beans, those black beans, fresher longer. But when you're ready to serve them, do you want to be eating all that sodium?
No.
Do you want to add all that sodium
Not
to
at all.
An already sodium-rich chili? Probably not. This is going to be an ideal way to take care of it, and you get 3 sizes, and they all nest inside one another?
They all nest inside inside one another, and again, 3 different sizes, so small cans. I just did beans. Here are vegetables. I mean, think about it. Whether you're making bean salad, whether you're making chili, you always have to get all those canned goods, but you just mentioned it. Instead of getting another large strainer out to strain with, I can rinse my vegetables or my beans right in the can that I'm going to wind up putting in the recycling.
Because all that yucky liquid is usually sodium or some kind of preservative, and you want to get rid of that. And this is a good way to do that. And many times when I'm making chicken crust pizza, I'll buy chicken in a can.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll go to pour it into a strainer and run cold water over it to rinse all the sodium out. This is great because then you can just pop a sifter on top.
Here's another great thing. What if you need to open a jar? David, you have that nice silicone flexible grip, so now I can use it as an extra grip to open my jar. It gives you that extra assistance. If you want to maybe do a small batch of berries for your yogurt, instead of getting out a big strainer that's going to take up all that room in the dishwasher, guess what? I can rinse a nice cup full of measured berries. So now I can put that on my yogurt, and I'm not dirtying a large thing to put in the dishwasher. This will fit right in the top shelf of the dishwasher. It's just a super smart idea.
And as I love to say, you're choosing a color because the color makes you smile. They all do the same job, right? So this is the red. This is the blue grouping. You're ordering these by color grouping. This is the purple. This is the gray. Most limited is gray. Thank you. And green. Now, these are like a shell game.
I love it.
They all fit inside one another for easy storage.
No space.
I mean, I was watching that show on television last night where people look at 3 different houses.
Yeah.
And they decide which one they're going to buy.
Oh, yeah. I was watching that too.
The woman that was on there was saying, I need more storage room. You remember?
Exactly.
Yeah, and she chose the one I thought she was going to choose too. This is important. And I'm like this. If you're downsizing, sweetie, donate some things.
Yeah.
Get them out of your house. You probably don't need them. Are those Beets?
These are Beets, and this is another reason I want to point this out, because remember, silicone, my favorite material for the kitchen, doesn't rust, doesn't chip, it's flexible, it's dishwasher safe, it's food safe, and guess what? It's odor and stain resistant. So there's nothing more staining than Beets, David. When I take this off, look at this. The Beets are rinsed. This is not going to stain. I put this in the dishwasher, and like you said, you rinse off a lot of that excess salt, and now you're not getting out a large strainer. It's the right tool for the right job. And by the way, when you're not using this as a strainer, which is the greatest function, check this out over here. And you can see here in the video. So whether it's canned fruits, canned vegetables, you name it, all those different canned things that you want to strain, you don't have to use a giant strainer. And then the beauty of it is you can rinse them in the can. So instead of getting that strainer out, I'm going to rinse them right in the can. Pop them in the top shelf for the dishwasher ready to go. They're not going to stain. They're not going to crack. They're not going to absorb odor. And then, when I'm not using it as a strainer, guess what? How about a spoon rest on the side of the stove?
For sticky
messy stones. If you've ever tried to poach an egg,
it's stressful.
It is a perfect egg poacher. I can pick these up. They're heat resistant, so they can go right in that boiling water. Then,
and that way you don't have to swirl the water.
Think about when you want to squeeze a little lemon, whether it's in a dressing or over some fish. Well, what happens when you squeeze that lemon? All those seeds go all over your food. Well, guess what? Look at this. All the seeds stay in this, so it's easier to squeeze your lemons and limes.
It's such a smart idea.
So smart.
Something like this is so simple in its premise, but it's so useful and so not available when you go out shopping. I mean, nobody leaves their house and says, I need to pick up some can strainers.
Exactly.
But it's one of those things you don't know you need until you get it home and you start using it.
That's right.
For so many things. Opening lids, draining things. Almost everything is packed in liquids these days.
That's right.
Now, you're ordering these by color grouping. So this is red, this is blue, this is purple, then gray, most limited, and green. And 1,000 of these are gone. They're like a shell game. They all stack.
I love it.
They nest inside one another for easy storage. So it's quick, it's easy, and you don't need to worry about any of that. So all this works out, and it's all made of silicone, yes?
All silicone. So this is a classic example of a strainer. Think about it. You got a small can that you want to strain. So you have this giant strainer, which, by the way, these things kind of rust and get kind of gross. They take up a lot of space in your dishwasher. How about using the right tool for the right job? So I just take my SIFTR. It's going to fit right over the can, so I don't have that giant strainer. And then I can strain my vegetables, strain my fruits, strain my beans, and I rinse them right in. This is my favorite part. I'm not dirtying something else in the kitchen.
Okay, let's just
look at this.
point out. Now, what is it? You're saying these are mixed vegetables? Assorted vegetables?
Yeah, look at the sodium in there.
This is mixed vegetables.
Mixed vegetables.
Okay. There are, a serving size is a half cup, so about 3.5 servings.
Correct.
In this whole can.
That's right.
And this has 290 milligrams per serving, so now times that times 3. So say that's 369, almost 900 milligrams.
Almost 900 milligrams.
Almost
and you know,
900
there's a
milligrams.
great little, up to 23% you can reduce the sodium by rinsing your canned vegetables.
I mean, come on,
that's a lot of
folks.
salt.
It's, I mean, you don't need all that salt. None of us needs that salt. We think we need that for flavor.
No.
When you realize that you start to do without it, you're going to become very sensitized to salt.
Oh, yeah.
And then suddenly you're going to be like, wow, this is salty. I can't eat this. So very definitely, if you're doing cocktails and you need a shaker, quick shaker, look at this.
All right, if you don't have one of those metal shakers, you could take a glass and turn it into your cocktail strainer and make a beautiful cocktail. So
I mean, shaker with a strainer, right?
A strainer, yeah, exactly.
Something.
And these, by the way, do you ever try to get those off when you make a drink?
Oh, they're yeah.
This comes right off. It's flexible.
I have banged it on the countertop.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I've run it under hot water, under cold water. I don't
yeah.
know. This is the water weirdest thing. Hey, don't miss out. You're ordering by color grouping. Here's red, here's blue, here's purple and gray. Gray's most limited. And then we have the green. How many are gone now, Aaron? Over 2,000 are gone. Chef, it's good to have you back,
David,
sir.
good to see you.
Nice to see you,
Take
pal.
care.
All right, I think Rick Roman has a perfect TV anchor name.